What's up, guys? We're back with a full slate of MLB action here on Monday, August 4th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day, my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think is the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, went a little bit rough. I'm going to blame that partially on it being Sunday and partially on the fact we were traveling, but not our best day out there. Got off to a rough start with the Astros at minus 115. Valdez somehow has one of his worst starts of the season, and the Houston Bats continue to be absolutely terrible. We had the no-run first inning there on the Milwaukee-Washington game, and hopefully you guys were able to dodge that one with Mizorowski being scratched from that start and getting put on the IL, but that wasn't even what cost us this play because Lord was really underwhelming there right out of the gate. So a tough loss there, but we bounced back with a nice win on the Marlins at minus 105. That was a comfortable 7-3 win behind a great Cabrera start and a very solid day at the plate there for Miami. Saw something about this being the first time the Marlins have ever swept the Yankees. I'm not 100% sure if that's true, but that's pretty crazy if it is actually the truth. Now, we had the Rockies at plus 135 as our dog of the day. That was a bit of a long shot and not my favorite underdog pick ever, and they didn't come through in an eventual 9-5 loss. So, yeah, unfortunately, there just weren't a lot of underdogs out there that we liked. A really tough loss there was the Rangers at minus 150 as our massive lock of the day. DeGrom, not good at all. Really, really weird to see him struggle so much out there. The offense couldn't make up for it quite enough, and they still only lose that game by 1 run. So a tough day out there across the board. We're still on the road here, guys. We've got a much better setup now, and we're going to dive back in. We're going to look at every single game. So let's go ahead and get after it. We've got the Houston Astros going on the road here to take on the Miami Marlins. The Astros come into this game fresh off of getting swept there at Fenway. Not a great look. They're 62-50 on the year. They're 2.5 games up on Seattle, so that race is getting very close. They're going to hand the ball here to Jason Alexander. He comes into this game a 7.36 ERA. His last start, not terrible, I guess, against Washington, but definitely not great. 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, and 2 earned runs, and a 7-4 win. Over his 4 starts so far with the Astros, guys, he's been okay. A terrible start there against the Athletics for sure, but one decent start against the Athletics. You know, that's his old team. We'll see what he can do here against the Marlins, who are playing pretty great right now. The Astros bullpen obviously has been good this season in general and not, skidding too hard. A 3.35 bullpen ERA still has them third best in the majors. The offense has been the problem. 1, 3, and 1 runs in that series at Fenway. Not going to get the job done there. They've tried to, improve a little bit here at the plate over the trade deadline. That really hasn't happened. They're 18th in runs scored this year, 14th in slugging percentage. I don't know if I see them getting drastically better. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Marlins, who are a 500 team. They're 55-55. They've won their last 5 in a row. They'll hand the ball here to Sandy Alcantara, who's 6-9 on the year, a 6.36 ERA. His last 2 starts have been lights out, though, guys. He dominated the Padres over 7 innings, giving up no earned runs in a 3-2 win, and then shut out the Cardinals over 5 innings. It was eventually a 5-0 shutout win for the Marlins. So definitely some big positives right now for Sandy Alcantara and just these Marlins in general. So we'll see what they can do here. Their bullpen hasn't been amazing this year, but it's been much, much better here down the stretch. Still a bullpen ERA of over 4. It's something we're going to monitor. The offense, though, 7-2, 13-2-5 over this winning streak. They're hitting the ball pretty well. They're still 9th in the majors in batting average, but 20th in runs scored. Maybe this team has more room here to continue to improve. So we'll see what they can do at the plate. We'll see what they do in this matchup. The Astros are minus 104 for this game. The Marlins are minus 112, a total of 8.5. Houston, basically a 500 road team, and they are a slight under team on the road. Miami is 27-29 at home and a significant under team at home. I don't love under 8.5 in this game necessarily. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but better than the total in this game. I definitely like the Marlins here at minus 112. I think they're in a great shape to keep this winning streak going. They're playing some of their best ball of the season. I'm sure they're feeling, very, very live out there in the playoff race. Not something you can say for a Marlins team. And right now, Miami, they are currently, 6 games back in the wild card. So maybe they're not that live, but I'm sure they feel pretty live. I think we're going to see a good effort from them in this one. Next up, guys, we've got the Minnesota Twins going on the road to take on the Detroit Tigers. Now, the Twins are 7 games below 500, not doing too many positive things. They did manage to squeak out a 5-4 win there in Game 3 of their series at Cleveland, but it was pretty rough stuff overall. We don't have a confirmed starter for Minnesota right now, and things have not been going their way. The bullpen continues to be a huge, huge problem. The offense has not been good either, so yeah, not a lot of positive things to say about the Twins right now. They're pretty banged up and obviously out of it, so this season is not going to end in a happy way for Twins fans. They're going on the road here to take on the Tigers, who just lost 2 out of 3 at the Phillies. They've still got an 8-game lead in the AL Central, so I'm sure that they're not too worried. They're going to hit the ball in this one to Casey Mize, who's 9-4 on the year, a 3.43 ERA. His last start did not last long, only made it 1 2/3 innings against Arizona. Honestly, he has not looked like himself since the All-Star game, which also did not go well for him. So we'll see what he can do, see if he can bounce back a little bit in this one, but I'm not loving Casey Mize right now. Obviously, the Tigers' bullpen's been a disaster recently in the offense. 0-7, 4, 7, 12, and 5. I mean, hitting the crap out of the ball against the Arizona Diamondbacks, not going to really impress me too much. So not loving a lot of what I'm seeing right now from Detroit. So looking at the numbers, guys, the Twins are plus 135. The Tigers are minus 158. We get a total of 8.5. Minnesota is 22-35 on the road, a significant under team on the road. Detroit is 36-21 at home and a slight under team at home. In terms of a side in this one, I really don't like too much. I think the Tigers are drastically overpriced, and I don't have a confirmed starter for the Twins, so no real lean here on the side. In terms of the total, I will take a look at under 8.5, but this is not a game where I'm showing much value. Cruising right along here, we're looking at the San Francisco Giants going on the road to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Giants are a 500 team now, not having the greatest time. They did win 12-4 in their last game there at the Mets, but it's been a rough year down the stretch. They're currently going to be hitting the ball to Justin Verlander, who's 1-8 on the season, a 4.53 ERA. He's actually been throwing the ball a bit better over his last couple of starts, but when you're going up against Atlanta and Pittsburgh, you're usually going to have a bit of a better time. So we'll see what he looks like here against the Pirates once again. He did face them back on the 29th, and 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run, and a 3-1 loss. Has to feel pretty brutal for this 42-year-old starter. So we'll see if he can run it back and look good out there. Obviously, the Giants' bullpen's been good this year. That's not been the problem. The problem has been their lack of offense, and they've scored 12, 6, 4, 1, 1, 5, 3, and 1 over their last few games. This is just not a very dangerous offense. They got off to a hot start to the year. Well, now they're 25th in the majors in runs scored and 25th in batting average. I think that's where they kind of belong. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Pirates, who at 48-64 on the year aren't doing anything important. They just lost 2 out of 3 against the Rockies. That's pretty embarrassing. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Johan Ovidio. He comes into this game, fresh off the IL. It's going to be his first time on the Major League mound since back in 2023. So we'll see what he can do out there. I'm not exactly, super stoked about him on the mound, obviously, but we'll see. It's been so long since he's been on the mound. We really don't know what to expect from him. The Pirates' bullpen's actually been pretty respectable down the stretch. Maybe not so much over their last couple of games, but definitely not as bad as they were in the early goings this season. The offense continues to be pretty bad. They managed to lose a game where they scored 16 runs the other day, but they are still the lowest scoring team in the MLB. That's not a great look. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Giants are minus 132. The Pirates are plus 112. We've got a total of 8.5. The Giants are 28-30 on the road and a slight over team on the road. The Pirates are 31-25 at home and a slight under team at home. I'm going to actually lean towards the Giants and Verlander here in a pretty significant way. I don't know if this one's going to squeak its way into the pinned comment, but I do think San Francisco is probably going to find a way here. I think we'll see another good start from Verlander going up against the Pirates, and we have no idea what to expect from the Pirates starter. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB and UFC picks, with NFL and college football coming up very, very quickly. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last several years in a row and has had a great 2025 season so far, making somewhere around 56 or 57 units, positive 56 or 57 units there in July for the entire month. So very, very good stuff there. Hopefully all you premium members cashed in on that. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see those exclusive free picks that are only posted there at Stump the Spread. You'll also be able to use our free-to-use bet size calculator, and that's where you'll find our premium top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not always match what you see from me here in the videos, as I'm not the premium MLB handicapper over there at Stump the Spread. We've got a monster with many more years of experience, uses some very sophisticated tools and algorithms to make his predictions, and he's the reason they had that amazing month there of July. So definitely consider getting over there and checking that out. I haven't been staying up to date on his picks because currently vacationing right now, so I'm not sure how he's done the last couple of days, but really, guys, I mean, I know he got off to a good start to the month, but he has been putting in a crazy amount of work, and I expect him to, roll out another profitable August. All indications are pointing that way. So we'll see if he can make that dream reality, guys. But you got to go over to StumpTheSpread.com regardless, because you want to get on that free email newsletter. It's one email straight to your inbox every single day. All you need for you to sign up for that free account to get on that email list is your name and your email address. That's it. You'll get one email straight to your inbox every single day with at least one free pick, sometimes two. Parlays are included in those emails. Information on niche sports betting like golf, NASCAR, WNBA is often covered in those emails. So definitely get over there and check that out. Also, guys, if you're a huge fan of what we're doing here every single day, sign up for a YouTube channel membership. Since we're on vacation, we're going to delay the giveaway here by a couple days, but don't worry, nobody's going to fall off the list. Everybody that's been signed up through that amount of time is going to be in on the giveaway. So there's going to be at least one giveaway this week. Who knows? Maybe we'll roll for 2 hoodies this week, but definitely consider signing up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get access to those giveaways like we were just talking about. They also get their name up on screen in every video, and they get early access to all of our videos. So definitely consider signing up for a YouTube channel membership if that's something you're interested in, and you do that by clicking the little join button right below the video. But guys, we're going to go ahead and dive back in. We've got a ton of games to cover on this very, very crowded Monday slate, and next up we're looking at the Baltimore Orioles going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Orioles come into this game 51-61 on the year. Their season is basically over. They just lost 2 out of 3 there at Wrigley. They're going to hand the ball in game 1 of the series at the Phillies to KennyGPoker. He's 2-5 on the year, a 5.15 ERA. He's coming off the injury list after that hip thing. His last time on the mound was back on June 15th. He did actually okay there against the Angels, but really not somebody who's had an amazing season. We'll see what he can do here against the Phillies, but that seems like a bit of a tough team to have this young 25-year-old facing. Really haven't been too impressed with what he's done this year. Obviously, the Orioles bullpen has been terrible this season. Nobody's really super shocked to hear that. And the offense, 3-4-0 in that series at Wrigley. They traded away some of their better hitters here over the trade deadline. And yeah, just not a lot of positives right now coming out of Baltimore. This is a team that's pretty much packing it in for the year. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Phillies, who currently have a 1.5 game lead there over the Mets in the NL East. They just won 2 out of 3 against the Tigers. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Jesus Luzardo. This 27-year-old lefty has been all over the place this year. He's 9-5 on the season, a 4.31 ERA. His last start was a good Luzardo start, guys. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed against the White Sox. But to start before that, 5 innings, 2 hits, 6 runs allowed there against the Red Sox, and he also walked 5 in that game. So we'll see which version we get here of Luzardo. I'm not going to be holding my breath for this guy to have a good start at any point. We'll just have to see how that goes. Obviously, the Phillies bullpen is a disaster. The offense has not been drastically better. 9th in the majors in runs scored and 6th in batting average. But over their last few games, 2, 5, 5, 3, 6, and 2. Not exactly amazing numbers. So we'll see what they come up with here against KennyGPoker. I do expect them to hit the ball well, but looking at the numbers here, the Orioles are plus 176. The Phillies are minus 200. We've got a total of 9 in this game. Baltimore's 24-34 on the road. They are the biggest under team on the road in all of Major League Baseball. The Phillies are 35-20 at home. They are a slight over team. I mean, I guess I have to back the Phillies here under the impression that maybe Luzardo will have back-to-back good starts, but I'm not very interested in that. I'm more interested in taking under 9. I don't think we'll see a crazy amount of offense here if both starters are decent, but really, guys, this game is a big stay-away spot for me. Cruising right along, we got the Cleveland Guardians going on the road to take on the New York Mets. The Guardians, they're 8 games back of Detroit in the AL Central, but they've won 4 out of their last 5 games, and I'm sure they don't feel like they're completely out of it. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Slade Cecconi, who's 5-4 on the year, a 3.77 ERA. His last start, 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs allowed against Colorado isn't terrible, but Cleveland managed to lose that game 8-6. So we'll see what he does in this one. He's been pretty solid. I'm expecting a little bit of a bounce back from him here. He hasn't faced the Mets this year, so we'll see how that goes. The Cleveland bullpen hasn't been nearly as good this year as it was last year, but it's been very, very solid. Top 6, top 8, something like that in the majors. Nothing to turn your nose up at. The offense kind of getting things going. I mean, 4, 5, 3, 5, and 10 over their last few games isn't terrible, but 26 in the majors in runs scored and last in batting average is pretty awful. So we'll see what they can do at the plate here against the Mets, who are a half game back of the Phillies after losing now up to 5 out of their last 6 games. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Sean Manaea, who's 1-1 this season, a 2.08 ERA. His last start, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run allowed there against the Padres. Unfortunately for him, that's a game we see the Mets lose 7-1. He has been excellent in all 4 of his outings this year. His season didn't start until July 13th. He's been lights out since coming up to the big leagues this year, or since returning from injury this year. So I'm expecting Manaea to be very, very good out there. The Mets bullpen, it's had some bumps in the road recently, but still a 3.85 bullpen ERA, certainly respectable. The offense, 4-12, 3-0, 1, and 6 over their last few games is just not good enough. They're 15th in the majors in runs scored and 22nd in batting average. When you got a payroll like what the Mets have, you got to be better at the plate than that. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Guardians are plus 150. The Mets are minus 180. We've got a total of 8.5. Cleveland's 27-28 on the road, a slight under team on the road. The Mets are 38-18 at home. That's an MLB best at home, and they're basically a 500 over-under team at home. I think no run first inning is actually kind of live in this game. I don't hate that. In terms of the side, I definitely am going to lean towards the Mets, but minus 180 is a very expensive price, even with Manaea being so lights out. So keep an eye on this one, guys. It could sneak into the pin comment, but we're going to have to wait a little bit and see. Next on the docket, we've got the Kansas City Royals going on the road to take on the Boston Red Sox. The Royals have actually won 4 out of their last 5 games to get back to 500. They've still got a lot of work to do. They're going to hand the ball to newly acquired Bailey Falter, who's 7-5 on the year, a 3.73 ERA. I'm sure he's very stoked to be off the sinking ship, which is the Pirates right now. His last start, he was lights out against San Francisco. Start for that, lights out against Detroit. Bro did a great job of auditioning for a trade, and he got what I would assume he wanted there. So we'll see what he can do for the Royals. Their bullpen's been very good this year, so that's not a big concern. The problem for this team has been their offense, but it's been okay. 7-2, 9, 1, and 9 over their last few games. They're certainly hitting the ball a little bit better than the team that's 29th in the majors in runs scored this year. So we'll see what they can do here against the red-hot Red Sox, who have won their last 5 in a row. They're up to 62-51 on the year. They're in second place in the AL East, only 3 games back of Toronto. They're going to hand the ball here to Brian Bello, who's 7-5 on the year, a 3.19 ERA. His last start, he was lights out there in Minnesota, and over his last 5, he's been pretty good, not allowing more than 3 earned runs in any of those starts, and the Red Sox are 3-2 over that span. So that's all fairly good news. We'll see what he can do here against the Royals. He hasn't faced them yet this year, so we'll see how that works out. Even if he isn't great, the Boston bullpen's been fantastic this year, so that's not a concern, and the offense figuring things out, guys. 6, 7, 2, 13, and 8 over their last few games, living up to the billing as a top 5 kind of offense. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Looking at the numbers, the Royals are plus 134. The Red Sox are minus 158. We've got a total of 9.5. The Royals are a 500 road team and a slight under team on the road. Boston's 37-21 at home and a big under team at home. I think under 9.5 is certainly very, very live in this game. I don't think we're going to see a ton of offense out there. I also think this is a pretty decent spot to side with the Red Sox. Bailey Falter might struggle in his first start here, for the Royals, and it's in Fenway. That's a pretty tough situation, but is that going to go in the pin comment? I don't think so, but I do think that under is very, very live. Rolling right along, we're looking at the Milwaukee Brewers going on the road to take on the Atlanta Braves. Now, the Brewers come into this game the leaders in the NL Central. They're 2 games up on the Cubs. They'll hand the ball here to Quinn Priester. They are, on a nice little winning 6 out of their last 7 streak, and Priester's been great this year. 10-2, a 3.27 ERA. His last start, 5 2/3 innings, 8 hits, but only 2 earned runs allowed there in a 9-3 win against the Cubs. So did a very good job of getting himself out of trouble. We'll see what he can do here against the Braves, but his last 5 starts have all been very, very reasonable. And the last time he faced the Braves, he gave up 1 run over 6 innings in a 4-1 win. The Brewers are actually 11-0 over his last 11 starts. That's a pretty bonkers stat. So we'll see what happens in this one. The Brewers bullpen hasn't been incredible necessarily, but they're starting to move towards respectability. The offense, 14-8, 16-3 over their last 4 games. Not too shabby. They're 6th in the majors in runs scored. They're 2nd in batting average. This team just continues to hit the crap out of the ball. Some bad news there on Mizorowski going to the IL, but overall the Brewers, I'm sure, very happy with the way things are going, and they get to take on the Braves here, not the scariest team. They're 47-63 on the year. They did just win 2 out of 3 against the Reds. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Eric Fetty, who came over from the Cardinals. He's 3-11 on the season, a 5.33 ERA. He came over and in his first start got unceremoniously shelled there by the Royals. Gave up 5 hits and 4 earned runs over 4 2/3 innings. I just do not see him having a good time out here against the Brewers. That would be pretty wild to me. We'll see what it looks like. The last time he faced the Brewers, he gave up 4 hits and 3 earned runs over 5 1/3 innings and a 3-2 loss. So we'll see how things go. I'm expecting him to be bad. I'm expecting the Atlanta bullpen to struggle, at least to some extent. They've been having a really rough time here down the stretch, and the offense is not much better. I know they had that crazy 12-run game there against the Reds, but over the course of the year, this has not been a very dangerous offense. They're 22nd in the majors in runs scored and 21st in slugging percentage, and that all makes lots of sense to me. So, looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Brewers are minus 143. The Braves are plus 118. We've got a total of 8.5. Milwaukee is 31-24 on the road. That's actually an MLB best road mark. They are a 500 team, over-under team on the road. Atlanta's a 500 team at home and a significant under team. And while I don't necessarily, I was about to lie. I don't like the under here. I'd like the over more than anything because I think Fetty's going to get shelled, and that's why I'm taking the Brewers here at minus 143. I think it's an excellent spot for them, an excellent spot for Priester. I think Milwaukee gets a comfortable road win in this one. Cruising through these games, we're looking at the Cincinnati Reds going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs. The Reds come into this game fresh off a tough loss there against the Atlanta Braves. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Nick Lodolo, who's 8-6 this season, a 3.09 ERA. His last start, 5 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, struck out 11, and was eventually a 5-4 loss there for the Reds against the LA Dodgers. So a very good start there from Lodolo. We'll see if he can back that up with a good start here against the Cubs. Obviously, a very, very important series here for these Reds. And Lodolo's got 2 starts this year against the Cubs. One of them was decent, and the other one was excellent. Those were both back in late May, so we'll see if he can line it back up here like that against the Cubs. Now, the Reds' bullpen definitely, has had its moments this year, but currently a 4.00 bullpen ERA. Doesn't get me super stoked. In the offense, 2, 3, 11, 5, 4, and 2 over their last few games is nothing too special. They are 10th in the majors in runs scored, but 20th in slugging and 16th in batting average. I feel like that paints a more accurate picture. So we'll see what they can do here in Wrigley Field. The Cubs have won 3 out of their last 4. They are 2 games back of the Brewers. They're going to hand the ball in this one to newly acquired Michael Soroka, who's 3-8 this season, a 4.87 ERA. His last, 4 starts were all pretty short, but also pretty reasonable. Now, they all came in losses. He did pitch against Cincinnati very recently back on the 23rd and went 5 2/3 innings, gave up 2 hits, only 1 earned run. That was eventually a 5-0 loss, but it wasn't his fault. I'm expecting him to have a pretty good time here against the Reds. We'll see how that goes. Now, the Cubs' bullpen has been pretty good all year long, although they've struggled a little bit recently. I think they're going to be okay. The offense, 5, 3, 1, 10, and 3 over their last few games. Not really getting me too stoked, guys. They are second in the majors in runs scored and 4th in batting average, but they're swinging some kind of cold bats right now. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Reds are plus 120. The Cubs are minus 142. We've got a total of 8 in this one. The Reds are 25-28 on the road. They're a slight under team on the road. The Cubs are 35-18 at home. They're a slight over team at home. I think this is actually a pretty good spot here to back the Cubs. But minus 142 isn't an amazing price. I do think under in the first 5 is live in this game. I think under for the entire game is live, and I also think no run first inning is very worthy of consideration. Next on the docket, we've got the New York Yankees going on the road to take on the Texas Rangers. The Yankees just got swept by the Marlins for the first time ever. Apparently, that is a very, very real thing. The Yankees swept by the Marlins for the first time in the history of baseball. They're now 4.5 games back of Toronto in the AL East. They're hitting the ball in this game to Max Fried, who's 12-4 on the year, a 2.62 ERA. His last start, 6 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them were earned. Gave up a home run, struck out 9, and walked 2, and it was eventually a 7-5 win there against Tampa Bay, but a game the Yankees very easily could have lost. Fried has not been as good down the stretch, giving up 2, 4, 3, 3, and 4 earned runs over his last 5 starts, and the Yankees are only 2 and 3 over that span. So he is not looking nearly as dominant. The Yankees bullpen's had plenty of problems here. Currently in the bottom, third of the majors, a 4.28 bullpen ERA. That's a pretty big yikes. The offense, 3-0, 12, 7, 5, and 7 over their last few games. Clearly missing Aaron Judge. They are first in runs scored, first in slugging percentage, but 10th in batting average. We'll see what they can do, see how they can bounce back here, taking on the Rangers, who let us down yesterday big time. DeGrom was terrible in their 5-4 loss there at Seattle. They are 58-55 on the season, hitting the ball to Patrick Corbin, who's 6-7 on the year, a 3.78 ERA. His last start, 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned in an 8-5 loss against the Angels. That's his worst start in recent memory. He's actually been really, really lights out recently. We'll see what he can do against the Yankees. Obviously not the easiest team to face, but this might not be a bad time. The last time he faced them was late May, and 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, and a 5-2 loss. That kind of makes sense. The Rangers bullpen, it's not been a problem this year. It's been excellent. 3.35 bullpen ERA. I'm not too concerned about that, but the offense continues to be pretty bad. They're 21st in the majors in runs scored and 28th in batting average. Yeah, not exactly elite. So looking at the numbers, the Yankees are minus 155. The Rangers are plus 136. We've got a total of 8 in this game. The Yankees are 26-30 on the road, a slight over team on the road. The Rangers are 34-20 at home. They're the biggest under team in the majors when playing at home. In this game, guys, I'm going to lean towards the Yankees a bit at minus 155, but I have no real conviction behind this one. They just have not been playing well, and I just think they'll probably find a way to win with Max Fried on the mound, but he also hasn't been very good. So this is definitely a stay away spot for me. Rolling through these games, guys, we're looking at the Toronto Blue Jays going on the road to take on the Colorado Rockies. Now, the Blue Jays come into this one fresh off of losing 2 out of 3 against the Royals. They still have a 3-game cushion over Boston in the AL East. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Eric Lauer. He's 6-2 on the year, a 2.68 ERA. His last 5 starts have all been excellent. Unfortunately for him and for his team, the Blue Jays are only 3-2 over those starts, but he has been very, very good. I do worry a little bit about the Toronto bullpen. They've had some hard times recently, all the way up to a 4.04 bullpen ERA. Definitely problems showing there, and the offense has not been as hot. 4, 4, 3, 9, and 2 over their last few games. Not up to their normal standards. They're still first in the majors in batting average, first in on-base percentage, and 8th in runs scored. So that's all fine, but I do worry a little bit. They're not swinging the hottest bats. But maybe going up against the Rockies will be the cure for that, because Colorado's had a terrible year, historically bad. They did win 2 out of 3 against the Pirates. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Tanner Gordon. This young 27-year-old is 2-3 on the season, a 4.85 ERA. He got dismantled by Cleveland his last time on the mound. He did have a good start against the Cardinals, but a mediocre start there against the Cubs, and I don't know. We'll see what he can do here against Toronto, but I do think the Blue Jays are probably a team that's kind of out for blood right now, so we'll see how that goes. Obviously, even if Tanner Gordon is good, the Rockies' bullpen's been one of the worst in the majors this year, and the offense, while they did have that crazy 17-run game there against the Pirates, is not very good either. I mean, over the course of the season, they're 28th in runs scored. They are 30th in on-base percentage. I just don't see them putting up a ton of runs here against Eric Lauer or the Toronto bullpen. So, looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Blue Jays are minus 200. The Rockies are plus 168. We've got a total of 11.5. Toronto's 27-29 on the road, an over-under team that's about 500 on the road, and Colorado is 16-39 at home. Terrible, obviously, and a slight under team at home. Not interested in the total here, guys, but the Blue Jays at minus 200 could definitely be our lock of the day. I'm expecting Lauer to go out there and be great. I'm expecting the Toronto offense to really take advantage here. Give me the Blue Jays in this one. Next on the docket, guys, we've got the Tampa Bay Rays going on the road to take on the Los Angeles Angels. The Rays are kind of in a free fall. They've lost, what is it up to now, 5 of their last 6 or something like that. They're 3 games below 500. They will hand the ball in this game to Adrian Hauser, who's 6-2 on the year, a 2.10 ERA, and he's had a pretty good season. We'll see what he looks like, after coming over from the White Sox. His last start, 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, and 3 earned runs against the Cubs. In a game the White Sox won, they were 5-0 over his last 5 starts. He's been really, really good, so we'll see if getting him can be a boost here for Tampa Bay. Their bullpen has struggled down the stretch. Their offense has been abysmal recently, so we'll see. They need an awful lot of help here. Even taking on a team like the Angels, who's 54-58 on the year. They just won 1 out of 3 against the White Sox. They're handing the ball here to Yusei Kikuchi, who's 4-7 on the season, a 3.30 ERA. His last start, he was trying to pitch out of trouble the whole night, gave up 10 hits over 5 1/3 innings, but only 3 earned runs, and it was eventually an 8-5 win there for the Angels. So they'll definitely take it, but they've got a long way to go as a team. Obviously, their bullpen's been atrocious, and the offense has been swinging some pretty cold bats, so I'm definitely worried here about the Angels. Looking at the numbers for this game, the Rays are plus 110. The Angels are minus 130. We've got a total of 8.5. Tampa Bay is 23-28 on the road. They're a slight under team on the road. The Angels, 29-28 at home, and a significant over team at home. I'm not interested in the total in this one, but I definitely think the Rays at plus 110 are live in this game. Kikuchi's just had really bad luck this season. He's had to pitch out of a ton of trouble. Hauser's been lights out recently, and I think he's going to get a little bit of new life, getting out of Chicago. They're pitching for the White Sox, so give me the Rays here at plus 110 as a small lean. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we've got the San Diego Padres going on the road to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Padres come into this game 62-50 on the season, but they've been playing some of their best ball of the year. They're killing it. Only 3 games back of the Dodgers right now as they hand the ball to newly acquired J.P. Sears. He's 7-9 on the year, a 4.95 ERA. They're pitching for the Athletics. His last start for them was against the Mariners. He was okay, but not great. He's definitely had a little bit of a mixed bag this year, but I think he's definitely going to be a big help there for the Padres. We'll see what he can do against the Diamondbacks. He hasn't faced them this year, so we'll see how that goes. The bullpen for the Padres has been the best bullpen in the majors, so that's a huge help, obviously, and the offense has been a bit better. 7-5-4-5-7 over their last few games is a step in the right direction for a team that's 24th in the majors in runs scored and 25th in batting average. So we'll see what they can do here against what used to be the hard-hitting Diamondbacks, but they've pretty much gutted this team. They still managed to win 2 out of 3 there against the Athletics. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Brandon Pfaadt, who's 10-7 this season, a 5.11 ERA. His last start, he got absolutely dismantled there by Detroit, although he had been throwing the ball pretty well coming into that game. And the last time he faced the Padres, he was really, really good over 8 innings. 8 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and an 8-2 win. So we'll see if Pfaadt can replicate that. Obviously, the Diamondbacks' bullpen's been terrible this year, and their offense is not looking anywhere near the same, with so many new faces out there and so many old faces gone. So we'll see what happens in this one. I mean, looking at the numbers, the Padres are minus 144. The Diamondbacks are plus 122. We've got a total of 9.5 in this game. The Padres are 26-31 on the road, a significant under team on the road. The Diamondbacks are 26-28 at home. They're a slight over team at home over the course of the season, but I think now we're going to see that change. I'm definitely looking at under 9.5 in this game. I think the Padres could win. Minus 144, not my favorite price, though, going up against somebody who dominated them very recently. Give me under 9.5 in this one as a pretty big lean. Last but not least here, guys, we've got the St. Louis Cardinals going on the road to take on the LA Dodgers. The Cardinals are now one game below 500, pretty much out of the hunt for anything, and definitely were sellers there at the trade deadline. Nothing positive for the Cardinals right now, really. They're going to hand the ball to Sonny Gray, who's had an underwhelming season, 10-5, but a 4.38 ERA. His last start gave up 8 hits over 5 innings and 3 earned runs against the Marlins in a 5-0 loss. I just don't have a lot of positive things to say about Sonny Gray or the Cardinals right now. Everything is pretty bleak. Their bullpen has been drastically improved over the course of the year, so I guess that's a positive. The offense, the bottom has just kind of fallen out, and they're not getting any better right now. They're looking like a middle-of-the-road at absolute best kind of offense. So we'll see what they do here against the Dodgers, who are 65-47 on the year. They just won 2 out of 3 against the Rays, but they need every win right now. The Padres are hot on their heels. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Tyler Glasnow. He's 1-1 on the season, a 3.38 ERA. His last start, he didn't look great there against the Reds, although the Dodgers did eventually win that game. Start before that, he was lights out against the Twins. So very, very good stuff there, and we'll see what he can do against the Cardinals. Obviously not the scariest team to face right now. The Dodgers bullpen, though, continues to be an issue. They tried to improve it. We'll see if they really have a 4.18 bullpen ERA. Not going to be good enough in the playoffs. The offense, 3-0-5 runs over their last 3 games, is not up to the standard of a team that's 3rd in the majors in runs scored and 5th in batting average. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, the Cardinals are plus 158. The Dodgers are minus 185. We've got a total of 8 out there. The Cardinals are 24-33 on the road, a slight over team when playing away from home. The Dodgers are 35-21 at home and a significant over team at home. You could definitely interest me in over 8 in this game. You could also interest me in the Cardinals at plus 158. I think the Dodgers are just way overpriced given how they're playing right now. Obviously, the Cardinals are terrible, but with Sonny Gray on the mound, that usually gives them some kind of spark. But in general, guys, this game is a massive stay-away spot for me. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Hit that like button if you're looking on all of your bets, and subscribe if you're new around here. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I appreciate you watching and dealing with, all the trials and tribulations of me being on the road right now. Definitely, we're going to be back home here in just a few days. Don't worry, we'll be back to the normal setup and the normal upload schedule, but just, stick with us here. Get over to stumpthespread.com. Check out everything we offer over there. Check out those premium picks. They've been, very, very good for MLB all season long. Guys, we will see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place, hopefully for more sports betting action.